Hey, thank you for coming in so early. Princess, please, come in and take a seat. Did you, sleep well? No? Yeah, I can't say I did either. I was so excited, you see. I can't wait to... I cannot wait to see how our alliance blooms. Word of our whirlwind romance has spread quickly. I'm glad you flirted right next to that gossipy butler. Now the whole palace knows. How very efficient. As I've mentioned last night, I've drafted a contract. I'll read it out, and you are free to oppose any clause so long as your argument is valid. How does that sound? Okay. Glad to hear, Princess. Now, 1. Both parties must remain in a fake engagement for the entire duration of taking down the opposition in Amaryllis and in Viriata, unless it poses to be a hindrance that could put us at a disadvantage. To put it plainly, if the engagement proves to be more trouble than it's worth, for example, if our lives were put in danger because of it, we must dissolve the engagement to ensure that we can both get what we want. Any objections? Okay, alright, good. Let's proceed. 2. Both parties, although they act as lovers, must respect each other's boundaries, both emotionally and in terms of physical contact. Any affection displayed in public must not be performed unless there is explicit consent given beforehand. Do you have any boundaries I shouldn't cross? Why? Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna ask to share a bed with you. Why? I suppose it would make sense, but I'm not comfortable with that either. Okay, for me personally, please don't touch my lower back if we were to dance or otherwise. I'm terribly ticklish. I shall screech so loudly you would do well to protect your ears lest I shatter them. It's not funny. It's so annoying. Once again, any objections? Okay, glad to see we're on the same page. Let's move on to the third condition. Condition 3 states that both parties must not cause each other harm unless vital to a plan. Yeah, that one I thought you might be iffy with. But let's explain with the scenario. Let's say that the fake Viriadian monarchy wishes you dead before you can sneak back into your homeland. If we are left with no other options, then I can fake your death by putting you into a similar trance. All medically induced, of course, and then I would sneak your body back into Viriata and proceed to wake you. But I do not speak from experience. This is just a final resort. I would never plot the downfall of... Okay, I suppose I shouldn't have been surprised that the Princess of Viriata, who I have formed an alliance with due to her intelligence, is actually intelligent. Yes, I have plotted the downfall of many, but with so many targets on my back, I find I don't have any other choice. I'm not sure whether I'm glad or saddened that you understand me. Are we okay with this condition then? Okay. Finally, Clause 4 states that if either party betrays the other or refuses to fulfill each other's conditions after theirs has been done, they shall be met with execution. I suppose the latter only applies to me, since Viriata's downfall can only occur once I have complete power over the throne. So I use the word betrayal in that clause. To clarify, betrayal is any form of violating of any of these conditions in the contract. Okay, I get it, yeah, execution might seem a bit harsh, but we are the rightful rulers of our respective kingdoms. If we disagree, then our subjects may be forced into warfare. And I know how much we lose from war. Oh, Your condolences are appreciated, but not necessary. My father passed away a long time ago. It's time we move on to a new era. And in order to do that, I must ensure that you're on board with this clause, and therefore with this whole contract. I can give you time if that's what you wish. You need a quill already? Okay, yeah, sure, let me fetch one. What eagerness, goodness me. I've seen vultures snatch prey with less veracity than the way you just ripped the parchment away from me. I don't want you to make any hasty decisions. This isn't just about you. It's about Veryata. I see that now that I'm the only one who loves my subjects unconditionally. You're strong, princess. Here, take the quill and sign at the bottom line. Mind handing it to me so I can sign? Thank you, my princess. There, signed and sealed. I look forward to our alliance. You speak of our first target, and I have barely taken the quill off the parchment. How ambitious. I suppose I shan't leave you in any suspense. Our first target are the elites. Do you have an equivalent in Veryata? Okay, yeah, I guess they're essentially the Amarillion equivalent to your Veryata's aristocrats are about as corrupt as our elites. Just as Veryata's aristocracy was originally given to those most fit to lead, ours was too. But in time, it seems like both have become hereditary titles instead. Who? Like an individual? No, my princess. We are targeting the elite as a whole. I plan to oust the current families and replace them with intelligent scholars and scientists who will aid the development of Amaryllis. I need the Fleurs out first, as the Vanderwood family will follow. Then we deal with the Seraforts, and finally, the Angelinis. The Fleurs are fickle. They chase after money, and the Vanderwood family is in their debt due to a buildup of unpaid loans. We shall have to drain them of their riches one way or another, and in turn watch them milk the Vanderwoods dry. How, though, I have not considered yet. Oh, yeah, if you have any ideas, please, I want to hear them. The Vanderwoods, if I recall correctly, recently had their daughter kidnapped. The ransom was so high, they could only ask their closest friend, the Fleurs, for a loan. It's been 5 years, and the sum is slowly being paid back, but I hear the Fleurs are beginning to get impatient. Oh, what's that face for? Speak your mind, my princess. You're just like my younger brother. He's bright like you, but if he has a theory, he needs proof and withholds indulging me. I would ask for his help instead of yours, were he not mating with half the population down in Varsenna. The second born has a lot of freedom, and he likes to exploit that by taking year-long vacations. I love him ardently, but he's so irritating. I don't need you to become me too, princess. If you're not going to tell me of your theory, then at least tell me the idea you wanted to share in the first place. I mean, I can certainly find out what the Fleur's expenses consist of. I sent a butler down there as a spy. I can have him report on it by the end of next week. Good. I look forward to seeing what your mind conjures up with this. The other two. Well, the Seraforts are led by the rather young child. Well, I say rather young, but she's about our age. That is young for an elite family heir, though. Celia Serafortis is a talented musician. Prodigy, if I've ever seen one. But because of her vulnerability as the only heir, and the only remaining Serafortis, she is under the wing of Valentino Angelini. It's truly such a shame that Lady Celia has an immunity to the poison within the seeds of a portobello blossom. What? You truly did not think I was waiting on you to save me from my peril? You are just my aid, and you will speed up the process of what I've already started. Now, the Angelinis are the main problem. They have all the elites in the palm of their hands because they supply them with servants, with less charge than any of the noble houses of Amaryllis. Hence why all of them are so well off. Perhaps we ought to use that brain of yours, princess. So why are the Angelini servants so cheap? That's exactly right. They're trafficked into Amaryllis. Since you're the only one handed off to me, I can only assume that they want me to be indebted to them. A foreign, expensive, and beautiful servant from the faraway lands of Veryata, they told me, as if you were some sort of bird. Now that we are to pretend to be lovers, they shall think I owe them the world. I only accepted a servant from them in the first place because I had eyes on their navy. On every boat, there's at least one palace servant undercover. I've been planning them everywhere since my father passed. I knew you'd be of use to me since the very second one of them reported to me of your suspiciously refined etiquette. I knew that you were either a noble or an apprentice of one. Either way, you'd be intelligent enough to help me. Who knew that I'd have the princess as my ally? Oh, me? I mean, I know I'm intelligent. Why don't you tell me how beautiful I am too, princess? Too much? Tough crowd. But truly, I've always been called simple. So for someone of your caliber to call me the opposite makes me really happy. Sorry, we're going off track, aren't we? The Angelinis rule the elite, as the only reason they're rich in the first place is that they don't need to spend a fortune on their servants. Slaves. The only way to bring them down is to rid the other families first. The Fleurs, the Vanderwoods, and the Serafortis heirs must be gone. I shouldn't wish to hurt Lady Celia, though, for she is of sheltered upbringing and none the wiser to Valentino Angelini's deception. He wants her to marry his son, but by doing so, Celia will have to forego the Serafortis name and inheritance to the Angelinis. If we have her break off the engagement and educate her on how to run her household, she would not be of great hindrance for us. Me? A soft spot? For Lady Celia? I'm not sure I'd call it that. I mean, I feel remorse for stripping her of her parents, but getting rid of them was necessary. They accepted the most slaves out of all the houses, and treated them horribly. I suppose I respect her more than anything else, not only because she ensured the safety of all the slaves on their return home, but also because we both have experienced the loss of both our parents. When I meant losing both parents, I meant that my mother is consumed by royal duty, of course. She spares no time for me, and I miss her. What? As I was saying, the Seraforta heirs will be easy. The Angelinis need to be rid of. I already have people rigging the boats from our port so that they sink before anyone can be kidnapped. They have the menagerie of combatant servants themselves. So instead of bringing the swords out, we must do what vengeful wives in detective novels do best. No, not seduce the main character. What kind of books are you reading? I mean, poison them, obviously. I'd rather pierce my tongue with a quill than spew honeyed words at Valentino Angelina, thank you very much. But the problem is, the nobles all have immunity to every poison that they know of. How would they know about the toxic properties present in the resplendent flowers of Veryata? I'm glad to see you anticipating a taste of your homeland. I will ensure that you get your justice. I'm afraid it'll take more than diminishing the Angelinis to eliminate your impostor. You see, I believe that the Angelinis were not aware of your true identity. They would have stolen the royal seal of Veryata had they known. And if they're in alliance with the fake monarchy, they would have handed it over. So that is why I believe someone more powerful than the Angelinis asked you to be kidnapped. Who? Why else, who would it be but our final target? Her Majesty the Queen, and my mother.